Hi folks!
Hello!
Well, after all that tongue and groove and varnishing and finally getting it all in place,
It's done!
doesn't it look lovely? We're
Yes.
very pleased. So now it's down to the final job.
No. It's the penultimate job. The final job is the worktop that our friend Pete is going to be fitting
Yeah,
for
the
us.
worktop we're getting replaced, we've mentioned that, but he doesn't want to do it here. He lives right next to the canal at Enfield, so we're going to go down to him when we're moving the boat to our new marina, because we're going to be moving it to Hinckley at the end of April, aren't we?
Yes.
Well, setting off in April and should get to our new marina in the Midlands in May sometime. Depends on the weather, 2 or 3 weeks to get there. But back to the job in hand. Today,
Floor plan for the new floor.
So we're putting
all measured.
Yeah, we put a new floor down. It's already boarded. We ripped the old carpet up. You've seen some of that, and it's nice, sort of. What was it? Chipboard, hardboard. It's a decent floor down, just a basic floor. So we've got a nice flat surface to work to. You've seen the edges I've done at the tongue and groove. They look quite nice now, aren't they? Nice and smooth. The wood is there. So it's a matter of laying down these click-together boards. They're sort of
vinyl.
Yeah, it's vinyl things.
Something anyway.
We had to
waterproof and very
we had to have a bit look round because they're only 4mm thick and a lot of them are 8mm. And you might not think that's much. Oh, some are 12, aren't they?
Yeah.
You might not think that's much of a difference, but I'm already, when I stand up, touching my head on the roof just up here.
I don't have that problem.
And slightly at the side on back of my head, so adding another, losing another ½ inch with a 12mm board and underlay underneath it, that's not going to be very good for me.
Yeah, because we've got the underlay first. You've got to put the underlay on, then the click.
But it's not very thick, is it, the underlay?
No.
So, I need to crack on, really.
Yeah, come on, I've measured it all up.
Now, we're not going to get a whole lot done today because we've been busy all this morning. We haven't just got here for this afternoon, but we're going to make a start. Pax gets the underlay down, do a bit of measuring, decide where to start the floor tiles, and then crack on. So, you ready?
Yes.
Right, here we go. So we're having to keep sweeping up all the time because any little bit of sawdust or grit or anything that gets down on the floor there causes a problem in getting the tiles down. And we started, as you can see, here's the first bits clicked into place. You have to have an expansion gap all around where I've beading. But there's the first few places. So we're going to go right down to that end and then move across that way to where Linda is. Then we have to keep sweeping. Obviously it's a bit fiddly because you'll see the boards have got a lovely straight edge. But of course the side of a boat, that bit of wood hasn't. But we have to work with what we got. And what do you think so far, Linda?
What I think so far is, where's my flipping dustpan and brush gone?
Well, there you are. Yes, exactly.
Right, come on, where's my dustpan and brush?
So it's looking good, and we're going to get the next couple of pieces of underlay down next, and then another piece towards where Linda's going. So this is what we've done so far. The planks clipped together quite nicely, but I've done none of the difficult edge ones. And we've got all the underlay down, and we bought one roll that was 50 quid or something, and it just was enough for a whole lot to be done. So there we go. And we've had enough for today, haven't we, Linda?
No.
Yes, we have. We've had enough, and we're going to pack up. So for tonight, that's enough from us, and we'll be back in the morning. Bye.
Sure will.
Morning. Well, we're back here at the boat again. The sun's shining beautifully. It was a cold frost last night. It's still a bit nippy outside. Anyway, I'm getting on the floor, and this is the sort of size of the things we're putting in, the floor planks. They'll sort of click together. They're quite clever things. And you can probably see, I'm not too sure, pencil marks on there where I've got to cut these special shapes because the instructions say go along it with a sharp, craft knife, like a Stanley knife, and you can snap bits off. Well, you can't snap off bits like this with L shapes. So I brought my trusty saw along and my Black & Decker workbench. In fact, I bought a new one because the old one was falling apart. It's only 35 years old. And if you saw them carefully with a fine tooth saw, you can get a nice edge. So I'm cutting the little pieces to go around the side of a corridor down there. I'll show you in a minute. Doing the piece for over here at the end here. And then we can sort of put down loads and loads and loads of these boards quite quickly without having to do a lot of cutting, and then just finish off the edges here. So I'm really pleased at the progress we're making. The only downside is my back's killing me from yesterday. I really have a bit dodgy on my back. But I'm getting there. I've got to cut this to piece. This is one of the trickiest pieces because it's a long thin piece. Then we're doing well. So I'll get on with this and I'll show you how it's looking in a little while. Well, I've spent a good few hours here now, and it may not look a lot different when I show you what I've done, but I've got now to the easy bit, having cut out all the tricky, difficult pieces, getting the odd shapes stuff cut. So I'll show you what I've done now, and then as you'll see, it's easy from here. Well, I've said that before on a DIY job. We'll see. Okay, so here's the floor so far. Now, I've got to obviously put the end piece on here, and I've got to put the edging on. But you can see these pieces here, they're cut in a funny shape, a bit of an angle there, comes out there. This piece here, I have to take the end piece off here, this piece off, the end piece, cutting that piece there, down to the other end. I've had to cut these pieces, get those to shape. But now, looking from here, it is just bish bosh, put the big pieces on all down here where my little workspace is. To be honest, that's been one of the tricky bits for workspace. You're moving from one bit to another to try to find somewhere to work and dropping dust down and sawdust when you're cutting the planks, but we're getting there. Well, there's certainly some progress, as I hope you can see. Now it's time to do the big easy bits. I just have to keep moving everything around, my table, all the tools, everything, so I've got room to do it all. But anyway, I should be able to crack on a bit now and get big chunks of it done. So here we are, end of the day, and it might not look like we've done a lot, but I've got this end of the floor down, and putting that sort of edge in has been quite tricky, trying to get the edge. Let's go have another coat of darker stain yet. And getting this corner right here is quite tricky. Linda's been up on the top doing the
cleaning the brass rails,
the slide
rail, because somebody told me that if you keep it highly polished, it'll be easier. Well, I've used 2 whole bottles of Brasso, and I've only done 1.5 sides.
It was well gummed up, wasn't it? Oh. And so I've done down here behind Linda, you can see on the floor down there. And so again, doing this edging, I've got to cut the angles right, the external angles. That's going to be a bit tricky, but I'll manage. But once I've done that, and that piece on the corner there, you can see here, it's just loads and loads and loads of floor panels to go down. So basically, I've done quite a good job.
Except for around
and
the
if you look
fireplace
over here, just look it that way, just that bit I've done there, that actually looks quite nice. Well, I'm back at the boat, second day laying the floor, and I've been here all afternoon. I couldn't get here this morning, and I've worked really hard. I haven't done any filming because I just tried to plough on. Done a bit of a beading around the edge, done some varnishing of a beading, laid down my tiles. I'll show you how far I've got. Come and have a look over here. So the boarding, I've done most of this last night. You can see I've got the edging on down there, needs varnishing, the edging on that side. And then here's the floor itself, nearly all done. Nearly all laid down. It's all done over there, all done up to there. I've got to do the edging, which is lying down here in the middle. And I've just been eyeing up the last bit. I've got that one complete plank there. And I need 2 complete planks. I've only got 1. Well, we're back at the boat after we had a week holiday, didn't we? Nice.
Yep, went up to Yorkshire.
Really nice week in Yorkshire.
With 4 generations of the family.
Yes, it's a full extended family.
From 87 to 1.
88. Anyway, so we've been away for a week, and we left the floor because I've run out of floor tiles, and I've just run out of time. And we had to buy 1 tile, didn't we, from
1 plank.
Yeah, 1 sort of floor plank. They come in packs of 10 and they're 50 quid. And we were a bit miffed at this, but you know, you got to do it. And we went down Wicks to get one today, and there was a half pack for sale for 25.
With 5 planks in.
25
so
quid.
Thought, yeah, that'll do us. That's better than £50.
So that's... So
and we've got some spare.
It was indeed. It was great stuff. I've just finished the floor, put the last piece in. We're about to stop for a cup of tea and a bacon sandwich. And I've
very much needed cup of tea.
Definitely. I've got to do the edging round the floor, but I'll show you what I've done for now. It looks a bit of not a mess, but you still got my tools out. But I'll show you where I am for now. Here, have a look. So this bit was already done, and over in that corner there, I've finished right along here. I've got all the wood down along there. Well, the floor, the laminate down along there, down the back. You'll notice there's a gap around the edge. There has to be an expansion gap. I've got to put the edging down everywhere, and we're going to do that this afternoon. It's looking good. Meanwhile, here comes Linda with a new purchase we've had.
Yeah.
Oh, crikey. New microwave.
The old one was a bit dodgy.
A bit clunky and old, and we fancied a new, slightly bigger one.
It's the same size, I think.
A few more functions. So there we are. Right, let's go and have our sandwich. Well, the floor's down everywhere. I'm doing the edging. It's a bit tricky in places. You can probably see this bit here where I've done all the edging. And now you've got to do angles like this. Well, it's a bit tricky, but I've got an angle measurer and I've got my miter saw where you can change the angle. So you can cut little pieces like this one here. I'm not sure if you can see that. Little pieces like that, where that angle's 45 degrees. Oops, that angle's 45 degrees. That one's 23 degrees because we've got the two different angles here. So that fits in nicely there. And the other piece, this piece, it's not varnished, this piece, it was a test piece to make sure all my angles worked, and that will fit there like that. And so I've got the varnish one on. I'm just about to knock that in position, and then I can make the next piece and carry on round. So I'm quite pleased with that. I think you'd have a really hard job without the miter saw though. You can get a lovely finish. They butt right up against each other, and if there's any small gaps you can just use a bit of wood filler and it fills it perfectly. So far I'm pretty pleased. I've done a good job. What's going to be hard is doing the fireplace, where you have to tap the wood to nail it to. You can't nail it to the floor, and I can't nail it to the tiles, so I'm thinking about what to do when I get there. Maybe no more nails? I don't know, I'll have a think. Anyway, let's get this bit done first. Morning.
Good morning. He's puffing and panting a bit today.
Just for lifting that sofa. Anyway, what we're doing today is I've finished the floor almost totally yesterday. Well, just for beading I got in. I covered up the nail holes with the what do you call it, wood filler, and it was getting a bit late and I'd had enough. So I've got one last little piece to put down, which I've sort of forgotten about, and then it's a coat of varnish.
Only one coat of varnish because you varnished everything else at home in my kitchen.
Yeah, I did 2 coats of varnish on that. But it made it nice, it made it easier to do here. So I just got to put a coat of varnish on and then we're finished. And in the back of the car, we've got our new sofa, haven't we? We most certainly have, and our rug's back again, and a little table. So what I'm going to do is get this varnishing done. Then I'll show you this without the, show you what it looks like without all the stuff back in. And then hopefully we can sort of sit down and relax a bit this evening. Yay! That's what you think, darling. Thank you, Linda. Right, let's get going. Well, that's it. That's the floor finished. I got all the beading done and varnished. That's what I was doing this morning. It's just drying off. We're about to move the boat down to the dry dock so we can get our new sofa in, because it's going to be a bit tricky to get in. But I'll show you what it looks like now before we've put the carpet down and all the other stuff back. But I'll show you what it looks like now. Well, as you can see, it's all looking a bit more shipshape. We've got the dinette back as it should be, the floor, the table's back, the new sofa, which is really comfy. We're fighting over it. Yeah, we're deciding whose sofa it is, both of us. And as you can see, this is all back together. And I'll just step up here. Ooh! Oof, bang your head. Oops. Right, start again. I'll just sit down here and there we are. Isn't that looking good? Ugh. It sure is, honey. What a day.
fabulous day today, though. Woo!
Yeah, here we are, sat on our comfy sofa.
Yes.
Which we've got in the boat. The feet on the rug that used to be here. Looking at the shelf over there, which used to be there. So much of it is back. We still haven't 100% done the boat ready for our cruise in a couple of weeks' time, have we?
Well, near enough.
We're near enough. Nearly everything. The bed's made back up. The paint pans.
Well, not quite. I haven't finished putting the duvet cover on.
The paint pots and cans and filler and tools are
all gone.
All going back to the house. We've got very little left to do, but for the moment, we've had a brilliant, couple of weeks getting this last bit done. Basically, we've been ongoing doing the internals of this boat since January, haven't we?
Correct.
Yeah, so we started in January, as you've seen on the earlier ones, doing the tongue and groove.
Yeah, but we had to stop for a while our step-grandson was in hospital.
Yeah, he's in hospital. Linda's, as we said earlier, Linda's in an earlier vlog, Linda's been childminding for our little granddaughter 3 days a week.
Which I love doing.
I've went back to work for a term. But
2 weeks it was supposed to, he said. 2 weeks to me.
Yeah, well, they paid me a lot of money. So...
maybe we could get the solar fitted on our boat.
It did indeed. So we're pretty pleased at where we are now. We're going to go and have a nice relaxing drink and a chill tonight because we've worked hard getting it all back together. But we're really pleased with how we are. Anyway, if you've enjoyed our vlog, seeing this come together, you know what to do.
Press like.
And subscribe if you aren't already. Bye.
Bye.